Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
I'm Cole.
Terry Silver is the greatest villain in the history of film. We slum it hard so you don't have to.
I like it because he's kind of like Javert, where like he has a lot of redeemable qualities. It's a very subtle character.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
like sitting in his like marble hot tub, smoking a cigar and like lighting it with $100 bill or whatever.
And he's literally on the phone.
The bubble bath.
Okay, are we doing
Yeah,
this? Are we jumping right into
Karate Kid 3?
That's my favorite scene because first of all, he's in the bath. And he's completely dry.
Yeah.
Sitting in the bubble bath.
Except for his hair that is always wet.
Yeah.
Dude.
His hair is always shiny and wet.
That's the thing.
Like, he's got a leave-in conditioner.
He pretends to be like, oh, I have to pretend to be this humble guy. And it's like, you never thought to get a different haircut? Like, you look like a total freaking greaseball.
Okay, first of all, hang on.
No, he looks like Steven Seagal's like younger brother or something.
For sure, yes. Better looking.
Beautiful smile.
Sleazier younger brother. And getting sleazier than Steven Seagal's an effort.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Okay, wait a minute. So are we sure we don't want to talk about the Facebook things? Because those are more timely. This
take a break.
To be the week of the events that took place. And we could actually pull that off. Okay.
In real time.
Do you want me to talk about what happened to me?
I do. I love it so much.
Which is utter BS. Okay. So somebody posted. The funny thing is, I even thought about it as I posted it. Like, it sounds aggressive, even though it's just continuing the joke that everyone else is making. Okay, I got to pull it up here. Sorry, I actually have notes written down about Karate Kid 3 just because some things to me were so bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
I told myself multiple times that I should be taking notes, and I just never did.
Okay, so somebody posted this ad in 60 Cycle Hum. It was this 1989 jazz bass that was like one of those Squier made in USA basses or Fenders or whatever, like Squier by Fender or whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing, 1989 JV, I don't know what JV means, jazz bass. All USA parts, killer bass, all original.
It's junior varsity.
Yeah, exactly. Still like it's good, but
it's a good way to describe Squier, or like JV guitars.
That's like Made in Mexico is like the JV. Squier is like the sophomore team. Okay, killer price, very rare, $800 cash, no low balls or offers. I'll burn it before I sell it for less. So if you don't have the cash, just look. Which is I love
just look.
I love that's like such a funny way because normally you'd say like just keep walking or move along, like that. But just look, like he wants you to look at it.
I'm gonna dangle it in front of you.
And then in case it wasn't clear, yes, price is firm. And then he says no trades, checks, loans, or weekly payments. Who's offering weekly payments on like Craigslist? Cash only.
I know.
Thanks. And then at the end, serious people only. So he doesn't. It's not even just serious buyers. Like he doesn't want.
He doesn't. Your offer doesn't need to be serious. You
no knuckleheads.
Yeah, no knuckleheads.
No monkey business.
No goofballs.
No Dusty Gooch need not apply.
No, Dusty Gooch. Just look.
Take a hike.
Just look, Dusty Gooch. Don't take a hike. Just look.
Yeah. Just look. It's a massive crowd. But why would you not take weekly offers? Because I mean, here's what you do. Like, yeah, I'll take weekly payments, but you don't get it until I get all the money.
Yeah, dude. That's the way to
So if you give me $200 a week and then you like stop paying me, then you just don't get the guitar, but I'm not giving you the money back.
Yeah, dude. It's like I can't remember.
No refunds, dude.
Yeah, like a pawn shop. Don't they do that sometimes? Like you pay to get your thing out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
is that what layaway is?
So layaway, yes.
We don't let anybody touch it. We keep it and we let you pay over time, but nobody else can touch it now that you're starting to pay for it.
It's like a weird time. Well, first of all, I guess
it's like a payment plan, but you don't get it until you pay everything. Yeah.
Exactly. But that's why you also don't have to pay interest on it because the have it.
Exactly.
There's like no risk associated for them other than they don't have the opportunity to sell.
Well, as long as they don't have it like more than 30 days. Because then they're just wasting real retail space. It's retail 101.
It's retail 101. Okay, so he says, one of the things, no trades, checks, loans, or blah blah blah. So someone replies, wait, but will he do a loan or a trade? Question mark. Just like we're joking around. Which, by the way, he would not appreciate that because that's not
just serious thing. That's not serious at all.
Not serious.
Just look.
So I reply. So someone else. Here's the other funny part, which I don't know.
This was in our group.
Noticed? No, this is
in 600 cycle home.
No, I was
60 cycle homes.
all across Facebook, Phil. I could not.
Yeah. You didn't understand that.
Okay, right. Now I get it. I forgot that was the case. Yes, of course.
Okay, so the very first reply after that was when he says, wait, but can you do a loan or a trade? The very first reply is F no in all caps, like the actual word, And so I was just continuing the joke and said, I should punch you in the face for even asking that. And I mean, within seconds. So it must have been an automated algorithm thing or whatever.
Yeah, like when Aaron said rat, you're a rat.
Yeah, dirty rat. You dirty rat.
Another thread on worship leaders plus topics popped up. And I tried to comment on it. Said, oh, you can't comment on this. And I was thinking oh, dang, somebody deleted the post or something like that. But then this thing popped up saying, hey, so it said your comment didn't follow our community standards. And in fact, if I go to my account still right now, it has
is there a special mark next to you?
No, if I go to account status, it says account status, account warning. Your account may be restricted if you
dang
again.
Do you have a red A on your
it's
account
yellow.
now?
Yeah, basically I have an amber letter. So that was total BS. So all day yesterday I couldn't even I couldn't react to anyone's posts, which makes sense why they do that, because if you were in a fight with someone and you said something that got you banned, you could just go back and hate liking their stuff and everything.
See, that didn't happen.
But I could see everything. I could see everything going on, including Phil's post.
You could just look. Maybe it was the dude. Maybe he works for Facebook. He's like, oh, no, just look.
He's like, hey, dude, serious people only, all right? So Phil posts, guys, please post comments or thoughts and opinions on acoustical engineering, ska, Pokemon Go, and Mountain Dew. And I had to see this thread happening all day. Couldn't even react to anything. It's just total BS. And I tried to, how you can comment. Maybe you can't do this anymore, but remember how you used to be able to comment as a page that you managed?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sorry. I couldn't do that, and I wondered if it was because
they know, because it's still in your account
or whatever. Yeah, because it's still linked to my account. But maybe that's not an option anymore, because it seems like that they did change how that functions recently.
You know what you could have done? You could have grabbed your wife's phone, joined.
You think I won't?
Joined the Gear Slum group as her, and then gone, hey, I know that it says Lacey, but this is really cool, and I'm super pissed.
I don't want my wife to have access to the Gear Slum.
Dude, why don't you guys just share an account? Just Cole Lacey, dude.
And she would
Colon Lacey. Colon Lacey.
Lacey Colon. Yeah, so while all that was going on, there was this other group that I'm in that was they started doing these weird policies in there. The admins take this group very seriously, and they posted all these things it's like guidelines it's like community guidelines, but it comes with like a button. So you like click done after you read it, apparently, and they want you to like read all of them and like say,
"Whoa, we need to do that."
Like you have to do
to make everyone who's currently in the group agree to a thing.
Yeah, make them do the deal.
Yes. We need to take advantage of this.
I don't want to do that. But another thing
I will do it then, Aaron.
So the group is supposed to be like about topics and you like discuss topics. It's really just like political, like pseudo Christian political debates. It's kind of obnoxious. But there was one post and it got to like 198 comments, and one of the admins came in and said, "All right, guys," he goes, we're temporarily closing down the comments on this post because we want everyone to be able to go back and read what's already been said. And if you already commented, you can go back and make sure that you commented before, like with the right attitude.
Think about what you did. Think about it. Why? Okay.
Which is so weird. It's like
what happened? Why did he feel like he needed to acknowledge that there were 200 comments? What does that have to do with it?
Honestly don't know. I think it was something like they thought people were getting out of hand and like arguing or something. Like they didn't like the feel of the post. It was really weird. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Plus it's like they also say like, oh, don't post a topic if that topic's already been posted. Just go comment on that post. But then like if it gets a certain amount of comments, then they're like, don't comment on this post anymore. It's really weird. Am I alone?
No, you're not. I'm so confused.
I just don't know weird.
I don't know what to say.
There's not much to say.
It's just
Guys,
like,
can you? I've been talking this whole time.
Oh, no way. We have not heard you at all.
I didn't have Phantom Power turned on.
Oh.
So do you want me to read his exact words?
Yeah, whose?
Wait.
You summarized it pretty well. The admin. I will close commenting for us to all catch up on each other's responses. We will reopen sometime today after everyone gets a chance to breath a bit. Yeah, obviously.
To breath a bit. I wonder if
learn how to spell.
Are they open now?
In the process, no, he's not done. In the process, kindly examine your own responses for kindness, willingness to hear and receive.
In what process?
It's like the most patronizing.
The process
BS
of reading
ever.
them?
Yeah, in the process of reviewing. So he says, so you can all catch up on each other's responses. So while you're catching up on each other's responses, I mean, it's like he's talking to a bunch of 8-year-olds or something. It's so.
It's weird. That's what they do in that. So I also like made a post in there the other day, and then it's like a little joke post, and then I got a message. It was like, "Hey, can you edit or delete your post? Because we're trying to cut down on posts that don't elicit discussion." And so I just went back and just added any questions.
It was very good.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
You're such a jerk. Oh my gosh.
They did not like that.
Do you want to read what the comment was? What your post was?
Oh, what was it? It was something about
it was you got the mark of the beast.
Yeah, I was going to get the mark of the beast, but I got the Pfizer version. Any questions? This is your brain.
This doesn't elicit conversation.
There you go. Here's direct question.
Now it's a question.
Now it does.
You're literally encouraging discussion.
Please. You could have said, "Ask, prove me wrong."
But the thing was, it was getting comments on it, so it literally was getting discussion.
Exactly.
Just it wasn't like a serious, in-depth debate, but it was a discussion.
It's really just that they don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Admins.
Yeah.
Well,
Do I sound better now, by the way?
No. Sorry to say that you do not.
That's bullcrap, dude.
Oh, wait, kind of do.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, you do.
yeah.
Oh,
No crackles.
good.
All right.
I changed my sample rate.
Oh yeah, you sound great.
But I mean,
Yeah, I do.
In their
sound
defense,
great. You sound great again.
In their defense,
sound great again.
Yeah, I made my voice great again.
In their defense,
Uh-huh.
it's not about it's not about they know that you're doing it because you're trying to push buttons. They know that some people will get triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true.
here's the thing though, like that's every post in that group. It's just that some people aren't funny about it. They're just idiots about it.
Exactly.
Like they don't.
It's like if you intentionally pick a fight, that's okay. But if you make a joke that people will fight about, it's not okay. Like that's trolling suddenly. If it happens to be funny and not like earnest, then which I guess is fair. This is why, because
can you
in
find
their mind,
examples?
It feels like you're making like a mockery of the group, and they don't like that aspect of it. You're not being a serious person. You're not being a serious person.
You're not taking the Lord serious.
Exactly. Serious people only.
Yeah, you're just kind of not taking the group serious right now. So they crumpled my post.
They crumpled it, dude.
Wham!
He's like,
Right
I crumpled
in the
that
chest.
post. I put that man on post approval. That right there. It's so funny. And like, I would rather be muted than be put on post approval. That's the worst.
Dude, it's the worst. Yeah, I'd rather just have them say you can't post.
Yeah, you are banned forever.
Yeah, like
no. We want to edit, like approve anything you say.
It's honestly like it's so similar to Jatipwa a lot of times.
It's even less
It's
fun
like the
though.
same type. It's the same type of attitude as from the admins as Jatipwa, you know.
I would say there's a lot of people in there that have been pretty cool and supportive in my trials, but the admins
totally.
are
The
crap.
group itself is actually, I actually really enjoy the group.
Yeah.
But that aspect from admin still exists in there, you know.
Yeah.
Gun Street Wiring Shop represents a brand new approach to the guitar wiring market. From their nothing is impossible philosophy to their community first attitude, Gun Street Wiring Shop is the premier maker of guitar wiring harnesses. Based in Central Oregon, Gun Street only does one thing: make your guitar sound and play better. Bored with your standard switching? Gun Street. Need more options? Gun Street. Looking to nail that classic tone? Gun Street. You want to try something that's never been done before? Gun Street. Sean's always coming up with new circuit designs. He's always down to make something special to fit your exact needs. So hit him up now, gunstreetwiringshop.com. Turn your SG into an OMG, your Les Paul into a More Paul, your Telecaster into a Telestar Blaster. And as always, members of the Street Crew get an extra discount at everything at gunstreetwiringshop.com.
Okay, so this week we decided to watch the conclusion of the saga.
The trilogy, if you will.
It's not the conclusion of the saga. It is the conclusion of the trilogy.
It's the conclusion of the original trilogy. I would describe it as such.
Closing of the chapter.
Yeah.
So speaking of like trilogies, the third one is often the worst, right? Like Godfather Part 3, maybe Karate Kid Part 3.
Yeah.
Was it
like
Return of the Jedi?
How dare you?
Like who has 3 amazing?
That's the worst of the 3. You don't think that's the worst of the original 3?
No.
Which one? Of the Star Wars?
Yeah.
It's at least a conversation. It's not noticeably worse like this one is.
It's not bad. I guess that's true. It's not the worst, but it's the third best of the 3, I would say.
Tremors 3.
Is that one good?
It's totally the worst.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 3 when they Turtles in Time.
Yes.
Not good. Not great. Mighty Ducks 3 when they go to freaking prep school.
Home Alone 3, where they literally don't have anybody that's the same.
Yeah. I love the idea of in Mighty Ducks of like just like giving a scholarship to an entire Pee Wee team to come to your school to play for your hockey team.
Yeah, that is very odd.
But then they're on junior varsity. It's like, you guys just won the World Juniors. We're gonna draft you to our school on scholarship and put you on the JV team. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but that's not the case with Karate Kid Part 3 because Karate Kid Part 3 is amazing.
Well, okay, let's be honest and truthful to our fan.
Okay. To Will Cobb.
Yes.
And Michael Cartwright.
Yes. To the two of them.
Bill LaRufa is probably listening.
To our two viewers, this is definitely a movie that fits squarely into the category of so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Would I recommend this? Yes, 100%. Everyone should watch this movie. Not because it's wonderful, but because it is bat-ass insane.
It is completely bonkers.
Like,
there are so many things wrong with it.
From T to B, like, if you knowing what happens in 1 and 2, and then for this to be what happens next, it's like, and everything is moving so quickly in a ridiculous direction.
It like moves really fast, but it also moves really slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
it'll like drag on like one thing for like half an hour, and then like the first like hour and a half or like hour and 15 minutes of the movie is just setup.
No, the setup happens. It happens really slow, but it also happens really fast because there's a 5-minute recap of part 1 and 2.
Yeah. So here's what I was thinking though. You had to have that back in the day because like people didn't have videos at home. Like you didn't have VHS. So you would go to the movies like 3 years later.
But I was thinking about that though. Like other movies don't have that really.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, okay,
but a lot do. Like Rocky did that when it's the same director as Rocky too. So
and Rocky 1 and 2 are end and start the exact same way as Karate Kid 1 and 2, where it's like right after the win. It's like immediately after the win. It's like in the locker room. Like that's so.
Also, Karate Kid 2 and 3.
Maybe the idea is that like somebody's going to see this movie who never saw the original Karate Kid, which seems bonkers to me.
Yeah,
but I guess it happens.
Right, but I think in the time period they're thinking, okay, maybe some boyfriend is going to drag his girlfriend.
Yeah,
we want her to we don't want her to be confused the whole time.
He's going to drag her on Twitter.
Yeah. And we don't want him to have to explain things to her.
But the hilarious thing is like, it's not like
you don't need to know anything for this movie to make sense.
Some show that has like a lot of twists and turns. It's not like Breaking Bad.
You don't need the first two parts.
It's like, hey, this villain who's like he might as well have the word evil tattooed on his forehead. He's the bad guy, and the sage old Japanese man is the good guy. And
did you happen to notice the name of his company?
What is it?
Yes, I wrote it down in fact because it is so. It is so good. You say it though, Aaron.
I forget what it was. I only remember half of it.
Okay, so do you guys remember? So much of the exposition about this new character, about this new villain, is him
like dumping waste in places.
Yeah, the very first one is like nuclear waste used to be their favorite kind of waste. Now they're trying to indict you for it. Like that doesn't even make sense. Okay, so the name.
Oh, it's Dynatox.
It's Dynatox. Yeah.
Oh.
Like he named his company after toxins, like the toxic waste that he's dumping. Like, wouldn't you like try and hide that a little bit?
How do you make a fortune in that? Like, maybe is his job? Is it supposed to be that like his business is to like get waste from other people and dispose of it responsibly.
Like disposing of someone else's waste, and
but
then 80s, he doesn't do it right. He just dumps it.
In the 80s, this was a big concern, and I can vouch for that as a middle-aged man in the 80s.
Yeah, you were worried about your grandkids.
You were a middle-aged man in the 80s.
I feel like it's not as funny if I say it. It's only funny if you guys.
It's not.
But
you've taken the power back.
I do remember in 80s movies, like there seemed to come up. Well, it doesn't come up anymore at all in movies.
Like toxic waste was a big concern.
Yeah, the concept of toxic. Yes, toxic. Acid rain. And toxic waste.
Yeah, like
or like
that,
things that like all that. Why? It's like in the
Toxic
60s.
Avenger. Remember that guy?
Yes, it's like in the 60s, everyone was afraid of quicksand. And and then in the 80s, everybody was afraid of toxic
quicksand.
Quicksand. And like catching on fire. Like, have you guys had to stop, drop, and roll yet? Because I never have.
No.
We sure learned that a lot.
It's because there was so much polyester back then. There was
we didn't learn how to handle our emotions, but we learned how to stop, drop, and roll, and we learned the Heimlich maneuver.
Aaron, you're probably right.
Turn yourself up. By the way,
me?
Way too quiet. Yeah.
I remember like hearing about how pantyhose and stuff will like melt to your body.
Yeah.
You catch on fire.
Yikes.
So this is one of the general thoughts I have about Karate Kid 3.
And then we'll do a play-by-play.
They have such a low opinion of their audience.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's weird. It's like a kids movie, but not a kids movie.
Yeah.
It's like a movie for adults with the intelligence of a kids movie.
It's like the opposite of a Pixar movie, right?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Kinda.
It's an adult movie, but adults and kids will dislike it equally.
It's the exact opposite.
Man, it's so bad. I love how they take, after they do the flashback, they take about 30 seconds to completely undo anything that might have happened in Karate Kid 2 and set everything just back to normal. Like they jokingly do at the end of Simpsons episodes. So there's like no continuity between the two or anything, you know.
Oh yeah, but it literally it starts like with them getting off the plane.
Yes, we were arguing about this last time, but now that we all watched 3,
they make it very clear. Yeah.
Yes, they get off the plane and it's like, and this is why, not just because they get off the plane, but then it's, hey, the year after I won the tournament to defend my title.
Yeah. But they get off the plane and they go back to the apartment complex, which is like being gutted.
Yeah, because they sold it.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long were they in Okinawa?
Like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks.
The timeline of the time that they're in Okinawa is like, because they map it out every day because the guy keeps reminding him, I'm going to kill you in this many days, you know. Like it's very clear. So they're there for 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way they make it seem
like maybe
this makes it seem like they're coming back. They left at the beginning
like
of the
years
summer,
later.
now they're coming back at the end of the summer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's like they're tearing it down. He doesn't have a job because the building doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
The old lady from the first movie is sitting on the curb.
Yeah,
and again has weird selective dementia.
Again, this is evidence to whichever one said that this movie has such a low opinion of the audience, because they're assuming that the audience is going to go, oh, that's right, they just got back from Okinawa. I guess they were gone a long time. Like, yeah, I guess it would make sense that they don't understand that now their building's getting demolished and that they were gone for so long. No, the last movie said very clearly how long they were in Okinawa, and it was a very short amount of time.
Such a short amount of time.
Well, and it's obviously happening fast, because it's happening so fast that this lady is like getting a cab with her stuff as it's like half demolished already.
Like they just walked up to her and said, you need to be gone by lunchtime.
Get out. Yeah. Get out right now.
They quickly, kind of like they did at the beginning of Karate Kid 2, where they're like, oh, and the girl, it was like with God, I just forget his name. Who's the dog in Simpsons?
I don't know.
Remember
Scratchy,
when
Mr. Scratchy.
Like, I have to go back to my home planet. Homie, is it Homie the dog? Remember Homer?
I don't know Simpsons.
You guys are the worst. But I feel bad that I can't remember his name. basically they write him out of this. He's doing the voice for this character, and they just write him out, and it says, "I have to go back to the planet," and the cell just like slides off the screen. You know, that's essentially what they do with his mom in this movie.
Yeah.
He
and his girlfriend,
mom, who's like watching his Uncle Louis, who has emphysema, I think it was
something. I don't know. He's laying in bed. He looks like the dude. What's that? Like is that the meaning of life? When with the fat dude in the restaurant who just eats everything until he pukes. The Uncle Louis is living out like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory grandparent scenario.
Yeah,
stuck in bed but he's also like eating a lot. I think I remember him eating a lot.
He's like,
and like ringing this bell.
Dude, what about your diabetes?
And the mom's like on the phone. I gotta go, Uncle Louis. Ringing the bell. He's going crazy.
And it's like you couldn't come up with a better name than Uncle Louis for one thing.
Well,
I'm abandoning you now, son.
Uncle Louis was mentioned in the first installment.
Yeah, he got her the job, right?
Oh, because he's in Fresno or something? Or no, he's the one who got her the original job.
I think so.
Maybe Uncle Louis is the one
across the country to take.
It's just in passing. It's not relevant. It's just they did it like they thought they were being cute. Like, hey, we're mentioning a character that we mentioned from the first movie that has no relevance to anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
Is that her brother or her uncle?
It's her uncle.
It's like, okay. He's like 70 or something.
Yeah.
They could have just said my dad. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It could have been like, I got a job here.
What, like, in what universe are you like living dedicated in a place to take care of your uncle?
I've dedicated my life to taking care of Uncle Louis in his last days.
Where is his immediate family?
Cole, you don't understand the Italian people.
That is true.
And they are a very communal.
Yeah. You know more about
culture.
Italian people than I do. You live there for 4 months.
I'm just saying you should understand. Maybe you've been there.
You don't understand Italian American culture.
Yes, Italian New Jersey culture.
Italian New Jersey Fresno.
I saw this TikTok that was like, if Hispanic people pronounce Spanish words the same way that Italian people in New Jersey pronounce Italian.
Oh yeah,
words.
I saw that one too.
Like, hey, you gotta give me a nice tortilla.
Give me an enchilada.
Enchilada.
Some frijol.
Some frijol.
That's gross. He didn't say that. I'm adding.
Okay, so then.
Yes, and.
So the interesting thing, well, it's not interesting, but you're rubbing your mic.
Oh, sorry.
So stop it. But it ends up, the plot ends up being basically identical to the first one. It's like a bunch of adults threaten to murder this kid,
except they're way more explicit about it this time.
Yeah, this time, and they like really want him to be dead, and he has to win this stupid karate championship to not be murdered.
Wait, so go back a little bit. So John Kreese, the sensei of Cobra Kai, is like wandering the streets in despair.
Wait, he looks dirty, and then he looks sad and dirty.
Like he's not been inside a building in weeks.
And then what happens is he's got bills to pay, and then he says he owes the money on his lease.
Yeah, on his dojo. The best part though,
and
the best part is that he's listening to voicemails, and the first voicemail is the owner of the building saying you need to pay your lease, and then the second one is the phone company saying we're going to shut off your phone.
Yes.
Like this thing you're using right now, you're not even going to be able to use.
Wait, does he get a phone call from the tournament people, or is that in Cobra Kai?
Yes,
it is the tournament people.
It's the tournament people, and they're saying, hey,
you haven't paid your dues.
If you don't pay your dues, we're gonna
which is insane. Like that would never happen.
Yeah, like hey, guess what? Okay, so here's one of the biggest the biggest like assumptions that this movie makes is that karate dojos are one of the most lucrative businesses you could possibly own. like little local karate dojos where you teach high school and younger kids how to do karate.
Yeah,
they are super lucrative businesses, and that everyone in the area cares deeply about them,
and that there's enough of a market that you could like have a chain of them in like and one like, city.
This guy who's like the richest guy on the planet, who just gets rid of toxic waste and makes millions of dollars from it, that he cares enough about a freaking karate dojo.
Yes.
Like that becomes his entire focus to the point.
Well, and that's like that's the whole reason why it's the whole reason why the fighter guy wants to be in it too, is because he's gonna get like a stake in the dojos.
Yeah.
He's like, you're messing with my financial future if you don't fight me in the tournament.
I love negotiations in movies where he's like, no, you get 25%. And he's like, well, I want 50%.
I want 50.
And because he's about to walk, he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll. So it's like he just gave, if we're believing the universe of this movie, like he just gave this kid millions of dollars just for like being willing to walk away at the very first negotiation.
Well, he goes, I want 50. He's like, I can give you 35. It's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a ruthless millionaire businessman.
As well as you negotiate.
Yeah. And then he goes, better.
Like you should, because you negotiate terribly.
Yeah, exactly. I hope you both do.
In a child's mind, they're like, dude, that guy.
It is like
he's negotiating
so much a kid's.
Amazing.
I mean, that kind of stems from the same idea that like I know that a lot of this movie probably made a lot of kids want to do karate, but it's this same like kids fantasy of like this hobby that I'm into is the most important thing in the world,
Yeah, but the karate in like part 1 and part 2 is fun. There's no joy in any other karate in this movie, and there's not very much karate either.
One of the biggest cop outs is because like randomly one guy points out, hey, did you see this announcement? They announced that oh no, I guess it's Daniel that says it. He's like, they announced that the former champion doesn't have to fight until the final round.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have to
it's only one fight. I only have to do one fight.
Yeah, exactly. And it's against
and they only show
who wants to murder me.
Yeah, they only show one preliminary fight too.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a 2-fight tournament.
But like, you guys, that's where all their budget went, is getting all those extras to sit in the stands.
You guys, in the first movie, they had to spend so much. They probably that scene in the tournament, probably went for weeks, where they're paying those extras to be in the stands for like weeks and weeks. That's how long it took to do that scene.
I bet. Yeah.
And so this one,
like
that's why they
have, because it is like a large venue.
I'm sure they probably just found a big high school gym.
But they're probably unpaid extras at that point, because Karate Kid was popular enough. I bet they were like, I don't know, but if they were smart, then
you'd have to either do it. You'd have to either pay them or do it quickly, because you need it to look the same. Like,
yeah,
I mean, at least roughly the same every day that you're filming.
Oh yeah, I don't think they Karate Kid 1. Karate Kid 1 would have been super expensive because they didn't have any kind of recognition at that point. So
we are well within the category of talking out of our butts, but like none of us know what we're talking about. But
yeah,
it's reasonable to think that was an expensive portion of the movie,
right? And I'm saying that I know that that like when they do stuff open in Hollywood, like, and they're like, okay, they just have signs posted. They're like, if you come through this area, you are an extra in the movie, and we're not paying you.
Yeah.
But when it's like people have to like be there, then it's like I think they have to pay them like
it's probably
daily
like a
thing.
It's like a scale,
union or something,
A buddy of mine was in the movie Can't Hardly Wait. Two of my high school buddies were extras.
Yeah, we know, Phil.
Yes, and one of them posted about it recently. I think
you're a little old to have high school buddies.
One of them posted about it recently. Like, since we just talked about the movie Can't Hardly Wait.
He's living in the past.
He posted, he goes, this came up on my
his memories
in my memory, whatever. and it's a picture of him that from Netflix, like
like he's in it, like he took a screenshot,
paused Netflix screen from like, but so he wrote this big long post about how he was supposed to, okay, that we need you to stand here, and they're like, don't move because we need to change Jennifer Love Hewitt's wardrobe, and
no, they didn't.
And so you can't move because the continuity, we're going back to the scene.
Yeah.
And they put up like a weird, like, actually coincidentally enough, it sounded like it was like a Daniel LaRusso Halloween costume, like a fake shower, like,
for her to change.
It was like a portable curtain, and she changed like feet away from him through the shower curtain. She was changing right there, and then came back, and while she was changing, she was like talking to him, and he was like,
wait. Sorry, okay, I mixed it up. So your guy friend, Jennifer Love Hewitt was talking to him while she changed?
Yes. She started talking to him, and then the director said, hey, we need a wardrobe change. And it was something weird, like, we can see your underwear. We can see your underwear line. So you need to change.
As if that would have stopped them.
You need to change and come back and be in the exact same spot, and nobody else can move because we're like, we can't. Exactly. The scene needs to be, there needs to be continuity. So they're like, he started to walk away. They're like, no, don't move. And he was like, literally, if he could have like pushed and like pushed her through the plastic curtain. And she kept talking to him. She was like, so where do you go to school? And he was like, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, he got paid like, it was something very weird. It was like he got food, he got craft services, and like something insane, like $6 an hour.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
And it was like hang out with a bunch of teenagers all night long at a house. Like for all intents and purposes, it seemed like it was just like a high school party, except there were people yelling at them, telling them to do things. Okay, everybody be quiet. And then they'd all have to be quiet. And then it was like, okay, everybody get really loud and cheer. And like, it was random stuff like that.
The only show that ever filmed here was Touched by an Angel. So I don't have
nice.
Cool Hollywood stories.
Touched by an Angel. Well, where I grew up, like, go ahead.
Like a known show, right? That was like
it was a big show. My mom used to watch that.
Hell yeah.
Where I grew up, like in the desert, so a lot of movies would film out there whenever they were doing like a lot of war movies would go out there. Yeah. Like Desert Storm movies would film out there in the dunes and stuff. So there would always be like random like celebrities around. Like people would be like, "Oh, I saw George Clooney." He's filming Three Kings, so he's like in El Centro,
dude.
Like, and like, oh, we saw Bradley Cooper, and like you're like, dude, Ben Affleck is here. It's like really weird stuff. Like, oh, I saw Ben Affleck at the gym. He was on the treadmill.
Because that's the other thing is like they're like, hey, these like megastars are like, hey, is there a gym around here?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, there's only one, and it's over. It's on that corner.
Yeah,
it's like I went to the hotel gym, and all it had was a Health Rider and a Gazelle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. So there would always be like every couple years you would get like a movie that was out there, and there'd be like some massive celebrity in town. Well, you guys remember when I showed you like where they did the scenes from not Shooter, but American Sniper, where they like turned the buildings into Iraq.
Okay, so speaking of Shooter, I saw a cameo this week from the actor who played Shooter McGavin on Happy Gilmore, Cameo is like a pretty sad thing.
Oh, like Cameo, like the app.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant.
I'm aware of it. I have not like seen it or used it.
I feel like so you saw it on TikTok or something?
Yeah.
Somebody posted on TikTok their Shooter McGavin video.
Yeah, like he got.
Isn't that against the rules?
I don't think so. What to post?
He made that. He made that for you. It's not to share.
It's like
yeah, but if you say, hey, Shooter McGavin, I'm gonna give you $800 to film a video for my TikTok, and he's like, I don't want to, and they go, okay, $850, and he's like, okay, fine.
Well, they have like rates on there. And
yeah.
One reason, what podcast were they talking about it? And they had looked up all the people from The Office because a lot of them are on Cameo, and Kevin is like the highest one of all of them.
Yeah, Kevin's kind of prolific on there.
That. I think he has another podcast out.
He does. He started one. I mean,
another Office podcast.
It just sounds like a ripoff of Office Ladies, honestly.
Well, because he had one a while ago that was like an oral history of The Office.
Yeah.
Which was really good. It was like 8 or 10 episodes or something. It was like a short series. But now he has another one where he's like interviewing people from The Office.
No, here's the thing. Here's why I have a problem with that. His voice in the show is so iconic.
Yeah.
And podcast is an audio medium. And so it's like, ooh, the guy that has the most iconic voice on the show has a podcast that you can only hear him, but he doesn't really talk like that. Like that just seems.
But he is also like over the last several years, he's been on a lot of like podcasts and like sports talk radio and stuff. Like he kind of has like
Dan Patrick a lot.
Yeah.
But it'd be like
he's kind of established himself.
If you hired like Darth Vader to be at your birthday party and it was just like James Earl Jones wearing like jeans and a t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
is the guy. This is him.
I remember Matthew McConaughey talking about like going on like touring for what was it, Cars, but like in Italy.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, dude, these movies are overdubbed. Like I'm not in the movie here.
Jack Black talks about it too.
Yeah. It's so funny.
He's like, it's not and it's animated, so it's not even your face.
Exactly.
So it's not
I'm not in this movie at all.
Like I have no connection to this movie whatsoever.
Well, and worse. Here's the worst is when you're overseas and they're like you have to have a translator. So it's like literally you're not even communicating to the fans.
Even talking to them.
Yeah.
But you're a big name, so they want to see you. It's just so funny.
I mean, yeah. Right.
Because they're not going to hire some random Italian voice actor or they're not going to like take him on tour. No one's going to want to see them.
Yeah, nobody cares about
it. Like that's not going to promote the movie.
But like it is odd to like go to Italy and then do a radio show.
Yeah.
Because you did a voice for a cartoon.
Yeah, it's just so many levels removed.
That's very odd. Anyway, so
John Kreese shows up at Terry Silver's place, and Terry Silver's I'm going to make these people pay for what they've done to you.
So wait,
and this is my favorite part. He's like, I only have one request. Make his knuckles bleed.
And he goes, I like that.
These people are all psychopaths, like legitimate psychopaths. But here's the funny thing is like, why does this guy care about John Kreese in the first place?
They're like best friends.
He's Cole. Okay, listen.
They're war buddies or something.
Cole, this is why I wanted you to watch all of Cobra Kai, because there's a lot of Vietnam flashbacks in season 3.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so they're in Vietnam together. That's right. Okay,
and
but that's all retcon, though.
Dude, he's straight up. How dare you, Aaron? It's retconned.
Yes.
No.
Most of the backstory is.
I mean, of Cobra Kai, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like him working at the diner and like getting beat up and joining the military. All that stuff is added in later.
Added in later to what?
To the universe.
Yes.
It was not a part of his story in the original movies.
Yeah, so you can't base his motivation in the original films.
We don't know what his story was.
Exactly.
Cobra Kai has told us his story.
That's called retcon.
No, yes, that's not called retconning.
Yes, because you're trying to claim his motivation in the original films on scenes and backstory that wasn't invented yet.
Yeah, it didn't exist yet.
Okay, fine. If that's what retconning means, then it was retconning that Luke is Darth Vader's son.
Correct.
No. False.
Well, I mean, that was a part of the books. Wasn't Star Wars based on books?
No. When George Lucas wrote Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, he did not have it in his mind that Darth Vader.
How you said like, oh well, if that's retconning, then this is as if that's something we cared about. Like you're the one who cares.
You should care about it.
Like,
but no,
that's also
what would be retconning is like going back into the first movie and saying like, oh yeah, see, he did that because because he knew he was the father, but he didn't know.
Like saying that Greedo shot first or whatever.
Yeah,
but that's what you're doing.
Well, that is like a very, very egregious version of it. Like literally going and changing it. Like,
yeah, because they actually
manipulating the actual. Yeah. So.
But no, that's why. But what Aaron's saying is like this movie that came out 30 years ago or whatever.
Like if you watch Cobra Kai to give context to, and then watch Karate Kid Part 3, you're like adding in stuff that wasn't there when Karate Kid Part 3 came out.
I know, but like,
so it might make your watching more enjoyable.
This as if we're saying they aren't good story elements. They can be good story elements and also be retconned in, you know.
I guess okay, so you guys are saying that retconning is literally any time you go back and add to a past. If there's a storyline that is,
it's going back to like make pieces fit together in a way.
It doesn't matter if it's retconning or not, but just the point that Aaron's making is like that story isn't relevant to Karate Kid 3 because it didn't even exist until 30 years after Karate Kid 3 was made. Like when somebody, do you tell somebody they have to watch? Do you tell people they have to watch the prequels before they watch the original trilogy?
No.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is there's one line. Here's why. Here's all I'm saying is there's one line in Karate Kid 3.
Yeah.
Where Kreese says, he's like, listen, you don't have to do all this for me, or something like that. He's like, hey, I thank you for your help, but you don't have to do all this. And he goes, of course I do. You saved my life.
Okay. But that doesn't have anything to do with him getting beat up as a kid and stuff.
That's it. So the line is dropped. Just it's simply in the third movie. It's just why would this rich person be helping this crazy maniac dojo owner who's down on his luck? Because like what would motivate him to do all this for him? Because he saved his life when they were in Vietnam together. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that very weak? Yes, it is. I'm going to punish and torture a young man who may or may not still be a minor.
Yeah. Well,
he's a recent graduate. He's probably 18.
Well, no,
maybe
he
he's 18.
Celebrated his 18th birthday in Karate Kid 1. We already went over.
Oh yeah, you're right. He might even be 19.
No, he's not yet 19.
How do you know? It's close to the tournament time.
He just got home. Oh. Yeah, at some point you're right. At some point in episode 3
during the movie.
Yes. Okay.
Because at the beginning of the movie, he's supposed to go to college, so it's like August.
Yeah, it's the exact same time that the first movie started.
Yeah, it's literally a year later.
Yep.
Yes.
So all of these people are so evil. It's crazy that like the villains. And maybe 80s movies were like that, but like, did every villain have to just be the worst person on the planet? Like,
no, it's just the really bad movies where there's where the actual intent and motivation makes no sense. And let's talk about this. there's not just one, there's not just two. There are many extremely ridiculous, over the top, like psychopath bad guys. Kreese,
yeah,
Silver. Then there's Billy Bobby,
Mike Barnes,
the karate's bad boy.
Okay, so
karate's bad boy. What is it?
He's flipping through the magazine. He goes, "Karate's bad boy." Eh?
And then when
he finds him in a magazine and flies him out for a meeting.
So Daniel fights him at the end, and at one point Daniel's on the ground. And that guy gets down on the ground next to him and is screaming at the top of the lungs in his face. Just the most like hateful and vile things you've ever heard in front of thousands of people, ostensibly. Like just the most
and the ref
stuff you could ever say to somebody. And the ref standing right there. He's like,
but the people have gone to Cobra Kai's side. They're like throwing out T-shirts. They're like pumped on it.
And meanwhile, like he breaks so many rules, and they're like, "Okay, next one," and you're just okay. I'm only giving you one more shot.
I love how they give it like a new rule. It's like now if you like break the rules, instead of getting disqualified, you just lose a point.
Exactly. And he's like, he just keeps going back to zero.
He's like, keep it at 0-0.
Back to 0. It's been 0-0.
You have 3 minutes, and whoever gets the most points at the end of 3 minutes wins. So if you keep it at 0-0, then you go to sudden death overtime.
Which, like, what does that even mean? Just means the first point wins, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so dumb. And again, so much of this movie depends on the audience believing that karate is super important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It just absolutely is not.
How dare you, Cole?
It was, though. It was in 1989, which you mentioned this earlier, but not on the podcast. But how he looks like simultaneously older and younger at the same time.
Yeah, because he looks like he gained weight or something. So
he's like
baby face.
He's 28 years old in this movie.
That's crazy that he's 28 years old. He looks like he's 16.
But he did put on some weight, and it makes him look younger.
Yeah, totally.
It's bizarre. And he's kind of dressing like a poor man's Marty McFly.
Yes.
Oh man, how long after Karate Kid 1 did this come out?
So Karate Kid 1 was in 84. Karate Kid 2 was 86. And then 89.
Okay. So the scene that I laughed out loud, I mean many times, but one of the times I laughed out loud that I'm remembering at this point is when he says, because we still have not named all the bad guys. So he goes, I don't know the other guy's name. Karate's bad boy, eh? And then he tells his butler to send for this guy.
Yeah.
He flies the guy in. They do the negotiation. First, who is this guy? Why? Okay, so you're saying that if I come to this, that if I fight in this tournament, is that even a thing? Can you just fly all over the country fighting in different karate tournaments?
That was the thing, is like a dojo. Like he was gonna have to sponsor him, right? He was gonna fight in Cobra.
Yeah.
Like you have.
Okay, that's true. He's got a Cobra Kai gi on, so
he's got a Cobra Kai guy.
A Cobra Kai guy. So
Cobra Key.
Cobra Key.
So he says, okay, they do the negotiation. That's ridiculous. And then he says, meet Snake. If you want to get in trouble in this town, Snake's the guy to hang out with.
Yeah, it's like,
whoa. And then this actor, Sean Cannon, I'm looking at his IMDb profile right now, says, oh, okay. And then just starts hanging out with that guy.
Yeah.
Snake, whose name is Jonathan Avildsen.
It's like, hey.
Who is the son of John G. Avildsen, who directed the film.
That is so great.
Like, do you want to commit some crimes? Because this guy likes to.
Yes, exactly.
Who's the third guy? What's his name? Do you know? The third henchman?
Yeah, the crony.
Weird.
Like Mike Barnes, which is like your villain's name was Mike Barnes. Like that's your karate guy.
Boring name. That's like my freaking accountant's name.
Mike Barnes, karate's bad boy. Should have been Dusty Gooch.
Exactly.
Karate's bad boy.
Freaking Dusty Gooch.
Oh, I think it's William Christopher Ford.
That's the character's name? Billy.
Jeez.
Snake and Billy.
Sounds like a president of the United States or something.
And yeah, like, and then they basically just repeat part one, but they just like escalate everything times a million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so the first interaction this guy has with Daniel is breaking and entering in. Oh, we forgot to say Daniel takes his college money.
That happens in all three Karate Kid. Well, maybe not in the first one, but that's like a very common thing back then. Was like, I'm gonna go break into their business and mess stuff up.
No, I think he's talking about when
Silver
breaks into the house.
Oh,
when he sneaks in ninja
I was gonna
style.
say that too. He sneaks in ninja style,
and then he burns the paper in the chimney, and then he's like comes down coughing. Like, that's a total kids movie move.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, it is. Yeah, dude, you are a freaking
old, like freaking Charlie Chaplin movie or something.
You are a ninja and like a special forces something or other.
Yeah.
And you get like paper smoke from one sheet of paper.
Yeah, and he's like so he takes the paper and then so Daniel for another strange reason, Daniel says to Mr. Miyagi, "Hey, I know what you can do. You can open your own bonsai tree
store
shop."
Yes.
Weirdest thing.
It's your dream.
First of all,
is it?
Okay.
Is it his dream?
Apparently, running these tiny little karate dojos is the most lucrative business in Southern California. And you have like the world's greatest karate star. Maybe do a karate dojo. Maybe don't sell trees.
Yeah,
trees.
But also, like the bonsai tree was like this like sacred thing to Mr. Miyagi, and now he's like, "Hey, why don't you just like
yeah, will you shell it out?"
Yeah, and they're not even like traditional bonsai trees. It's like picking like wild plants, wild California plants, and just like shaping them.
He picked a pine tree.
Yeah,
the needles are like longer than an entire bonsai tree.
Well, hey, I'm not going to pretend to understand how to shape and create a bonsai tree.
Or how to monetize them, because apparently that's a thing you can do.
But yes, so they're opening their own shop, and for some reason, Daniel sounds like a complete and total idiot when he's saying, "I got this place. Look, we're going to make it great. It's not in the best neighborhood, but it's going to be in a good neighborhood very soon." And Mr. Miyagi, a wise old man, looks around, very stoic, while Daniel's talking, and then says, "Great idea, partner."
Yeah.
That's not, this is a bad idea, you moron. Why did you spend your college money?
Plus, he just has his college tuition like in cash.
His only concern
in his pocket.
Yeah.
Dude, he's Dave Ramsey style.
Yeah, dude, he's got an envelope that said groceries and an envelope that said college.
It's college. It's 18 years worth of cash that's been saved up by mom.
It's like $247 or something like that he's got in his pocket.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Is that how much it costs to go to college in 1980?
And he's like,
probably.
No, my only concern about
Fresno
this whole
State
situation, me being a wise old man, is that I need this 18-year-old kid to understand that he's also my business partner right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the important thing for me.
Yes. I'm going to go into business with an 18-year-old.
Who
I like later on
decision without consulting me first.
I like later on when he's introducing the girl to Mr. Miyagi, and she's like, "Oh, you got to meet Mr. Miyagi. He's my friend,
best friend."
She's like, "Why do you call him Mister?"
Yeah, that's so good. That's like
he goes, "You'll get it when you meet him." Okay.
Because he's a freaking old dude.
Like, I was hoping that her character was going to be the one that was just like the only rational one. Like, wait a second, what is this for? A karate tournament? Like, why are you? These people are like trying to murder you. They like, we're down here. And like they're risking our lives because they want you to sign up for a karate tournament. Like, what are you talking about?
Just join the tournament and lose. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
She is at every step. She's not encouraging him to make poor choices, but she's just like tagging along on every one of his very stupid choices. But did you guys notice here? Okay. There are exactly three times that the bad boys of karate come and harass and assault Daniel. There are 3 times. The first time is in his crappy shop.
His bonsai
tree. Yes, his bonsai tree shop.
Which is called, the name of which is Mr. Miyagi's Little Trees. That's the genius name that he came up with.
He's making fun of himself.
Yeah, he says it, and then Miyagi goes, "That's a great, like that is a good idea. This is a good title.
You got it in one."
So they break in when he's trying to get some get some time with his lady. They break in.
Who isn't his lady, by the way. She made it clear on multiple
occasions. She has a boyfriend.
That's right. Why did they do that?
Yeah, they're just friends.
Why did they?
It makes no sense. I have a boyfriend and I'm leaving for Ohio in like 3 weeks.
That is a weird, like at some point they consciously made the decision that like, we're going to make sure this is not a love interest for him.
But like why they're like, we don't want her at the tournament either. Like she needs to be gone before the tournament.
It's really weird.
Did she leave?
Yes, because they had their big fight was like on the night before she left when he took her to that weird dance club. Like that was her going away present.
80s.
Remember, he's like, "Oh, I'm forgetting
the timeline.
I'm taking you to this place. It's the present I got you the night before you leave."
Oh, what? So wait, and the bad guys do not show up there, right?
No, he pays. He gets another guy to fight him. And then he breaks his nose, and then he's like,
"Yeah,
what have I become?"
Yeah, that's when he's like, "I've become everything I always hated."
Right.
And I love it too because he's like, "That wasn't me," and she's like, "Yeah, it was. Who else?" Like,
yeah, dude, she totally like she doesn't let him off the hook for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Then he goes home. He makes total amends with Miyagi, and Miyagi's like, "Okay, I totally forgive you. All's good. You did a ton of stupid things, which, like, by the way." Wanting to fight in a karate tournament is not like a moral failure. That's not like a failure of your character, but in his mind it was. But he's like,
he's sold out.
Yeah, but then he's like, "Okay, this is great. Everything's fine now, but I got to go tell this guy right now. I can't wait. I got to go tell this guy, and then hopefully they'll ambush me and try to murder me." And,
Okay, but I will say this. Here's why Miyagi has a problem with it. Miyagi he doesn't believe in tournaments.
Yeah.
The purpose of the first tournament was he was appalled that Daniel was getting harassed and attacked by the Cobra Kai guys. And he said, okay, he says, how can I get you to leave him alone? And then, or wait.
Yeah.
Kreese says, well, then let's settle this. And then Miyagi says, okay, at the tournament, he points at the poster.
Yeah.
He did not, I think Miyagi, like in his like old school training is like, you should never like compete for fun.
Yeah.
In a like a show tournament. Like that's just not cool. So I think that's what it was. And then Daniel saying, hey, I got to defend my title is like the absolute opposite of what Miyagi is saying is good.
Yes.
And true and precious about karate.
It's fine to sell bonsai trees though. Like that's cool.
And that's why, I mean, I would say he should still be teaching people karate though.
Yes.
Like it makes sense that he would teach people karate for defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, for all the reasons that he loves karate.
Yeah. But anyway, so they
There's no tournaments. No tournaments.
Okay, no tournaments. But okay, but here's what I don't understand. They break into Mr. Miyagi's little trees.
Mm-hmm.
They harass him.
Hold on. Are you hearing that too, Aaron?
No.
Hearing what?
Oh, never mind. Keep going.
You mean the music? Don, 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 don.
Ignore me.
They break in.
Don, don, don.
They break in. They harass him.
They break in. They harass him. They physically assault him. At one point, the first time, and he's like, sign it. And he's like, I'm not signing it, man. And then I can't remember why they leave, because Daniel kind of gets freaking the crap beat out of him, like effortlessly.
Yeah, they're just like, we'll be back.
So he leaves, and then they get the next time he's alone with his new friend, who's just friend,
the pottery lady.
The next time he's alone with just her, they break in again. Oh, Jessica. Yes.
Is that her name?
I think that's right. They break in again.
Yeah.
And then
they destroy things, right?
Yeah. And I was like, bro, lock the freaking door. Why? Like,
wait a minute. Every time something bad happens, she's around.
Yes. Because the third time is when she says, "Oh, Daniel, let me show you how to rock climb. We'll just go get the tree. No big deal," which is insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to rock climb for the first time on this freaking cliff
called Devil's Canyon or something.
Devil's Canyon. Down into a hole.
I think that it fills with water when the tide comes in.
And it fills with water. There's no way out. And then you'll drown.
Yeah. You'll drown.
You'll drown.
You'll be drowned.
So that's the third time. The third time is whether at the end of they're literally at the end of their rope.
Ooh.
Because they drop the tree, right?
Oh my gosh, that's right. They drop.
They have to climb
tree.
all the way down.
They climb all the way down, and then they're like, "Okay, now let's climb up." Whoo! What's happening to the ropes?
It's like,
these people have been following us.
Yes, they're willing to like literally murder them to get. Which I get it. His motivation is like the greatest motivation of anybody in the films, like according to the logic of the film.
Yes,
because he stands to gain like millions of dollars from this, like owning half of this karate dojo empire.
Yeah,
that's true, dude. That guy.
He should have just been like, "Yo, Daniel, I'm gonna get 50%. I'll give you 10% of that.
Yeah,
if you just fight and let me beat you.
Throw the fight. Yeah.
Yes.
Daniel, I'm gonna make you millions.
Yes. You don't have to sell cars when you grow up. You can own a chain of successful dojos.
Dude. Okay, so that actor is for sure going to be in Cobra Kai, right?
Oh, I hope so.
The Mike Barnes guy?
Okay, so there are rumors. I don't want to talk about Terry Silver because Cole hasn't watched all of it. But the rumors are freaking bonkers about
that Terry Silver is going to be in season 4.
I don't want to
like you could say that's all you have to say. He knows who Terry Silver is.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Cole. Hope that wasn't too much of a spoiler for you.
No, that's fine.
He wasn't listening.
I'm half listening.
Okay. Suffice to say, this movie is nuts. We forgot one character. We forgot one character who is Silver's secretary, the old lady.
Yes.
Who just like listens to his dubious plans and just like does not care.
Yeah.
She's like, she's not evil like the rest of them, but she also is like pretty nonchalant about it. She's like okay with him being evil.
She's like the evil guy's just like knowing secretary.
Yeah. How weird of a bit is it when they walk out to the driveway and he's got his team of servants with him and he's looking at all these old cars. They're setting up this whole plan for him to appear to be poor, and up to the fact of we have an assortment of poor people cars for you to choose from.
But don't they like dress him in like a tuxedo first, and then he's like, "No, I have to look poor."
Yeah. No, because he's going to some fancy benefit dinner. That night.
Okay.
But he's a busy man, and he's multitasking.
Yeah.
Okay, the house that he lives in, that they filmed in, is famous, and I believe it's been in many movies, and it actually might have been in one of the I think it was in Godfather 3. Dude, would that be awesome if that house is in a bunch of
part 3s
movies? That would be great.
Yes.
Okay. Karate Kid part.
But yeah, they're bringing all the cars, and then he's like, he settles on the little truck, and he's like, truck, I like that.
He smacks his hand on it like,
yeah.
Would
you look at that? Would you just look at it? Just look at it.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right, what's the best scene? What's your favorite scene?
The best scene is okay, so he finally gets Miyagi to sign off on him doing the tournament, to be okay with him doing the tournament. And the reason is because now it's to save his life, just like it was in the first one. Because these people are going to murder him over a karate tournament again. And when Mr. Miyagi finally agrees, he's like, "Still, you'll train me?" With his cute little chubby cheeks. "You'll train me? I'm an adult, and I'm going to fight against these kids who, like, let's not lose sight of the fact that he's going to be 19 years old fighting in a tournament that was won by a 16 and a 17-year-old the 2 years like prior to him winning. So, like, who's allowed to
Mike Barnes is like 25.
Yeah, like what's the like that's almost the most impressive thing, is that Johnny was winning that tournament 3 years earlier when he was 16 years old. He's a sophomore in high school.
It really escalated.
But when Miyagi finally signs off on training him, then they have this super cheesy, it's the cheesiest of any of the 3 movies, this music montage of them training, and it's just the music is just so over the top cheesy, but it's like love. It's like the music, if I told you, okay, here's the music for a music montage in a movie, you would think it was like a romantic, like they were falling in love over the course of
right
it, you know. It's like the montage in Naked Gun. Something tells me I'm into something good. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When the end of the scene, they have those full body condoms on, you
know. What's the? I remember like vaguely. There's a scene where Mr. Miyagi is like, kind of like halfway looks to camera, and he's had like his eyes are like welling up with tears. What led to that? Do you remember?
Really.
Oh, was it when like Daniel was like, "I don't care. I'm gonna do this with or without you. I don't need you."
That
like,
sounds
right.
That sounds right.
That's terrible.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
It is.
Yeah, that was awful.
So next week we're gonna watch the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch an
Oh, dude.
Do I need to go back? I don't really remember much. Yeah, I don't remember enough of the first season of Cobra Kai. I probably got to go back and rewatch it.
The first season of Cobra Kai is good.
The first season is 100% the best. So you should watch, and it's only like 8 episodes or something, right?
It's honestly a shame I didn't watch it at the time, because I was one of the few people on the entire planet who had YouTube.
Who had access to it.
And that's where it launched.
Who didn't get YouTube Red specifically to watch that show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you have YouTube Red for 1 month, just like the rest of us. And it's like, no, I've had it for like 3 years.
No, I've been paying for it. I just like it.
Yeah, I like being able to listen to audio in the background.
The other 2 seasons are worth watching, though. They're just not
100%. 100%. It gets like sizably, noticeably campy.
Yeah.
But
I think especially if you've seen the original movies, like the movies, it makes it. There's a lot of like callbacks and Easter eggs and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. I mean, the whole reason it exists is as fans.
It's pure nostalgia. Well, especially like once it moved to Netflix, it became more about that even.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, although there's something odd. These people, I'm assuming that this
people,
is Phil? These Hollywood types.
Coastal liberal elite.
Yes. They've figured something out, that it's not just for Gen Xers. That's not the only
for kids too.
audience.
It's
because all of my students talk about Cobra Kai.
But it's because
it has a little bit of like,
because their parents are.
But it has
there's enough teen drama, right?
Element to like, yeah, because it feels like it's set in the 80s, even though it's not set in the 80s.
Well,
they go back to the 80s.
I would say I would argue that the reason season 1 is so good is because like Miguel is such a teenager of the time.
Yeah.
Rubbing up against Johnny, who's like
still
squarely in the 80s. Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean computers? Computers are for nerds. Like,
yeah. Hey, did you know that kid is Gabriel's nephew? Gabriel Tenorio? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I did. I think
Xolo Maladueña or something. Yeah. He told us that a while ago.
That's a great name, by the way.
Yeah. He was also in Parenthood. Oh, I love Parenthood. All right, let's call this episode. Let's quit it. Call it quits. Let's call
That's not what we're supposed to say, Aaron.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
By saying thanks for friendship.